interested, right?
Yeah.
Hi, it's been a year since we've seen you. What's changed for you?
Well, a lot has changed. We continued with the show, and you know, the new memoir that I wrote is Being Jazz, that came out as well. So yeah, a lot's been going on, but overall I've just been entering high school, being a normal teenage girl and doing my thing.
Happy?
Yep, definitely happy.
Do you feel like you have to educate people every moment?
I think that until society is fully accepting and understanding of all people, including transgender individuals, then I'm not going to stop sharing my story. So I think it's important for me to continue to educate because it's necessary.
This is your second book that you've written, and in it, more details. I know you talk about the good fairy that would come at nighttime in your dreams. And what was it about that dream, and what were you hoping for as a child?
So when I was 2 years old, I had a dream, and it was the good fairy, and she entered my dream, and I asked her, and then I woke up and asked my mom, when is the good fairy going to come and change my penis into a vagina? And that was one of the first moments where she knew that something was different and that it was necessary for me to transition in order to be a happy child.
I just wonder, as you sit here, we can talk about this. We know the words transgender. We're all getting used to this. If you were born earlier, if you were born 30 years ago, would you have been able to make this change?
I probably wouldn't have. It was a different time back then, and a lot of transgender people weren't basically allowed to come out without being, you know, shut down by society standards.
So you would have to try to fit in.
I would have to try to blend in, and we've seen people who have come out later, like Caitlyn Jenner, because of the era that she grew up in. So
Living a life.
Yeah.
You've talked a lot about the bathroom bill, which we've all talked about so much. I mean, this is something that has affected you all your life, right?
Yeah, I don't understand the whole situation. I don't know why people are making such a big deal. I mean, it's just a bathroom. I want to pee in peace, and that's it. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I don't want to bother anyone. I just want to get my business done and then leave.
And of course, the opponents, they say you're not the issue. The issue is somebody pretending to be transgender who's really just a molester.
Yeah, and that's a completely separate issue. That's illegal in itself, but you don't have to discriminate against transgender people creating this new policy because it is already taking place.
What happened with that moment with, it was a teacher, right, who you told off? Can you talk about that?
When I was in second grade, I snuck into the girls' restroom because at that time I wasn't allowed to use the girls' bathroom. I had to use the nurses' bathroom where kids were vomiting, they were sick and bleeding. It was just a disgusting bathroom. So I went into the girls' bathroom and I got in trouble. And that was one of the first moments where I realized that discrimination takes place and transgender people are treated differently.
You know, we've been watching, obviously, the news all weekend long of what happened in Orlando. And, you know, this was a club where people were supposed to feel safe. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on seeing all of that.
Yeah, I think all members of the LGBTQ community are more cautious now. I, you know, am worried for not only my safety, but for the safety of all people in the community. And it's a scary situation, but, you know, we have to unite, stay strong, and just stay authentic.
Do you get threats?
Yes, I do get threats.
All the time?
Very often.
How are you with that? Do you react, or do you say that's just part of the business now?
It's very scary to see people not only being just cruel and hateful, but to the extent that they are willing to hurt me or other people in order to prove how hateful they are. And it's so worrying.
Don't you just want to say to them, wait a minute, you may not like who I am, but what am I doing to you?
Exactly, yeah. I wish people could accept one another and embrace one another. I think everyone deserves to be treated equally and respected for who they are.
You're 15 and yet so grown up in so many ways. Social media, a big part of your life, but how do you, the trolls that are on there, how do you navigate that? And do you look at it, or?
I try not to look at it, but when I do, it almost kind of motivates me to continue sharing my story. When I see the messages of people who are so cruel and ignorant, I tell myself, okay, well, it looks like I need to do a YouTube video addressing the haters and what they're saying. So it's really this motivational factor that shows me that education needs to take place.
But you know, the more you respond, the more the trolls will respond.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But who cares what the haters say? You know, I don't want to listen to someone who's going to be negative, say something awful. I want to listen to someone who is positive and embracing me for who I am.
But don't you also want to, going back to this theme, don't you want to say, why am I so important to you?
Yeah.
Why am I taking so much of your time?
I wish no one cared about transgender people and I wish that we could just be treated like everyone else. I wish, you know, it wasn't a big topic at all. We're just people.
A lot of people are interested, I know you were asked a lot about your sexuality, and you have said you're pansexual, and do you even feel like you need to describe what that is?
You know, I don't know if I identify as pansexual anymore. I kind of just don't know. I haven't really explored my sexuality that much. I haven't been dating, but on the show, I kind of go on my first date, and you'll see that, you know, interacting with a guy, it's something new for me, but you'll see. Stay tuned.
Wait. Just give us a hint. How did it go?
You'll see.
All right, I Am Jazz. The show's called I Am Jazz. You'll see. Airs tomorrow night, 10 o'clock on TLC. Good to see you
And
again.
the book is out now.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we will be back.